Sometimes strength doesn't come with wings or feathers. Sometimes it comes from refusing to give up, no matter how fragile life looks on the outside. That's the story of Blondie, a little bird who may have lost his feathers but never lost his spirit. Blondie was just a year old when his family noticed something was wrong. At first, it seemed small, just a few feathers missing on his head. But then it spread to his belly, his back, and slowly all over. He wasn't just losing feathers. He was losing energy, confidence, and joy. The playful little bird they knew was suddenly quiet, sitting still for long hours, his eyes dull. Worried, they rushed him to the vet. Maybe it was parasites, maybe something minor, but test after test showed nothing. The vet suggested it might be stress, but deep down, they knew it was more serious. Blondie was slipping away from the cheerful bird he had once been. At home, they searched for answers. They read every article, every comment, every story they could find. One evening, scrolling through Instagram, they saw a post about a parrot diagnosed with citizen beak and feather disease, often called PBFD. The symptoms were almost identical to Blondie's. The missing feathers, the frail body, the change in behavior, it all made sense. Their hearts sank. PBFD has no cure. Birds with the disease lose their feathers permanently, often becoming too weak to fly. For many, it shortens their lives. Learning that Blondie had it was crushing. But instead of giving up, his family made a decision. If he couldn't have feathers, they would give him something stronger. A life filled with love, safety, and joy. Blondie's early days with the illness were tough. He could no longer fly to his favorite spots, and he often stumbled when trying to climb. His bare skin left him cold, especially in the mornings. Without feathers to protect him, even a small fall could hurt. But his family adjusted everything for him. They made soft play areas low to the ground. They wrapped him in warm blankets and set up gentle heat lamps to keep him cozy. And little by little, Blondie responded. It started small. A curious head tilt here. A soft squeak when he wanted attention. A playful nip when he felt grumpy. Soon he was climbing, hopping, and exploring again. His family kept a close eye, ready to catch him if he fell. And even though he tumbled often, Blondie never stopped trying. Without feathers, his skin felt dry and rough, like a small warm palm. But that didn't matter. What mattered was that Blondie was finding himself again. He started showing his silly personality, making funny noises when something bothered him, and flashing that beak in what looked like a smile when he was happy. Blondie developed favorite spots around the house. He loved his stuffed animals, curling against them like they were his flock. He loved sitting by the sunny window, stretching his wings in the warmth. And most of all, he loved music. When the piano played, especially soft and slow songs, Blondie froze in place, listening intently. It was almost as if he understood every note. Even though he could no longer fly, Blondie didn't seem to mind. He chose joy every day. He chose to be curious, playful, and full of life. His family admired him for it. Watching him adapt reminded them that strength isn't about what you've lost, it's about what you keep fighting for. Blondie's story also showed how animals can teach us to look beyond appearances. Without feathers, some might see him as broken. But his family saw something else. They saw his spirit, his personality, and his endless will to live. They learned that beauty isn't in feathers or wings. It's in the spark that shines through, no matter what. Today, Blondie is thriving. He spends his mornings wrapped up in warmth, his afternoons exploring his safe play areas, and his evenings surrounded by music and love. He still yells when he's excited, still makes his squeaky little laugh, and still leans into his family when he wants comfort. Life didn't turn out the way anyone expected for Blondie. He'll never fly through the air like other birds. His feathers will never grow back. But that hasn't stopped him from being happy. In fact, he's a reminder that even when life takes something away, it's still possible to live fully. Blondie may not have feathers, but he has something even more important. He has joy. He has love. And he has the power to inspire everyone who meets him. If Blondie's story touched your heart, give it a like. Share it with someone who needs a reminder that strength comes in many forms. And if you have a rescue story of your own, tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear it.